as long as you can get, decent click through and, likes and comments.
Right.
All the stuff that helps us with our algorithms so we can put our content in front of more people. Which, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, you could do us a very huge favor by clicking that like button, hitting that subscribe button, ringing that bell. That way we can see you back here for the next episode. Boom, nailed it.
Yes, sir, nailed it.
Hey, what it do, what it do, what it do? It's your boy Q. And of course, as always, we got my partner in crime, my number 2. I guess you can call him the king of the boot, Mr. Oogie Boogie. What's up, man? How you doing, homie?
What's going on, brother? How are you?
Man, just another night living the dream, my friend. So, what you been up to here since we last chatted last week? What you been up to as far as on the stream? What's going on in your life, man?
A lot of Call of Duty beta.
Yeah, I know you were talking last week. You're looking forward to it. So, what's your thoughts so far?
Oh, I love the game. The reason I really didn't like Modern Warfare was the fact that they took sprinting and made it into like a kind of like you can sprint 1 minute and then you have a cooldown and then you can sprint again, and then Dead Silence wasn't a perk. Dead Silence was a field operative, and it felt wrong to me as a Call of Duty fan. So having the natural sprint, having all the perks the way they should be, felt really good. The gunfights feel really good. The maps feel good.
It looks really smooth from what I've seen. I haven't played it. I know you hate me for that, but
that's all right.
I'm enjoying the shooter-free lifestyle right now. But from what I've seen on it, though, it honestly it looks really, really good.
Yeah, no, I really liked it. I know a lot of people, there were some mixed reviews about it. Some people said it felt clunky and other like that. I think people got used to playing Warzone, and the reason it felt so different was because it was faster and everything else. So, but I think the game's going to be a good game. I think it was a good beta. So would you say
it's taking it back to more like, what, like early 2010s ish, like Modern Warfare, to like slower pace versus like the go for Modern Warfare, or what?
I mean, it's definitely slower than the jetpack era for sure.
Well, right, okay.
But you still have enough movement in this game as far as sliding goes, as far as jumping goes, that it's you got enough movement to where it doesn't feel as slow as Modern Warfare did. Like Modern Warfare felt slow to me.
Right, fair. Well, okay, that's fair, yeah.
So the fact that I can start a match, sprint, and try and flank right away is just something I missed from Modern Warfare last year. And that's my style. Like, I'm an SMG player. I literally want to sprint, get to your spawn, and see who I can pick up there and go from there.
Right. Now, so in the past, I think they've done it to where the beta is for like 2 weeks and then they shut it down before the actual release. Is that what they're doing this time around?
Yes. So the beta officially started last week for PlayStation 4.
Right.
PlayStation 4 gets it first. They have the exclusive rights and stuff like that. And then it was PC and Xbox the next week. Got in on Thursday if you pre-ordered or if you had a early access beta code. And then it was open to everybody from Saturday to Monday.
Gotcha. As in today.
Correct.
And so there is no more, like, I wouldn't be able to get on tomorrow in the morning and stream Modern Warfare?
No.
Gotcha. Interesting.
And then it'll be shut down until it comes out in November.
Oh, so they got like a whole month to kind of change things around based off of reviews and info they get from the beta.
Yes, sir.
Interesting. Have you had anything like wild on your end that you've seen or gone against, or?
No, not really. I know I was playing with a few people that thought people were cheating or hacking or whatever, but I didn't come across anybody doing that.
Well, that's just the rules of the game when you die, right? It's because the other team's hacking.
I guess. I mean, to me, it's just, you know, if you're on your first day playing the beta, like a lot of the people I was playing with were,
right, and
you're going against somebody who's played the beta, they may even played the alpha, you're at a disadvantage regardless. So
right,
if they snipe you from a spot where they know where the spot is and you don't, how are they cheating? It just doesn't make any sense. And people don't realize that, you know, in Call of Duty, when you hit somebody in the chest or the head, you're doing more damage than if you shoot them in their feet.
Right. The way it should be.
The way it should be. So, like, if you're hitting shots, but you're hitting them in their knees and they turn around on you and get 3 headshots in a row, you're going to die first.
Right.
And people get upset because they got first shot off and they, you know, they think they had it, but they didn't. But for me, overall, I think it was a good beta. I think it's going to be a good game. They're going to intertwine with Warzone, so all the people who play Warzone will have some Cold War stuff that gets into Warzone as well.
So have they announced when? So is that change as far as?
They haven't announced anything specific in regards.
It's just in like a roadmap or something.
Yeah, in regards to Warzone, they haven't announced anything specific besides there will be integration between the two games. I know a lot of people right now are playing Warzone because they have their Halloween feature going, so there's going to be zombies and everything else on a Warzone map. But other than that, they haven't announced
zombies like a PvE sort of thing, huh?
Well, it's still PvP, but you're going to have to deal with zombies too.
Right. Well, kind of like when Fortnite did their thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But, you know, the OGs of zombies. So
yeah. Yeah,
I got you.
I know a lot of people are looking forward to Black Ops Zombies coming out with the game. I'm not a zombies player myself. I just think it takes too damn long. But I know a lot of people are zombies players, so they're looking forward to that. Moon kept asking me if I'm going to play the walkthrough of the campaign.
And I always ask about the campaign. It's just how it is.
I'm not a campaign player, but maybe I'll do it.
Yeah,
you never know. I'd rather get on, go to multiplayer, start cracking some heads, talk a little shit, and have fun. That's all. Like I want it to feel like old school Call of Duty. I wanted to get in a lobby, the lobby be toxic, and then shit on some kids, and that's it.
Now, do you think at this point, when the new one dropped, what's the new one called?
Cold War.
Cold War. When Cold War dropped, will we see Modern Warfare just basically fall off as far as viewership and concurrent player average, or because there's like obviously it's behind a paywall, right? Because it's not like a free game.
Well,
I
think
some of it kind of split.
No, I think most of the Call of Duty that you see now is Warzone. I don't think a lot of people play multiplayer, especially stream it like multiplayer Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
That's fair.
So as far as that goes, yeah, but I think Warzone will still keep the mass viewership over Cold War.
Oh, like on Twitch, gotcha.
Yep.
Interesting.
I think the battle royales will always have bigger viewership than a multiplayer game.
Why is that, do you think? Just curious.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the whole Fortnite craze or the whole battle royale craze, or, you know, because you have some games that came out that didn't do well as battle royales, but it seems that like Warzone and before that, what was the Black Ops one called? I'm slipping my mind. But Black Ops 4 had
what
royale.
Did they call it? Yeah, I remember playing the beta on that.
Blackout.
Blackout.
That's what, yeah, it's Blackout.
Yeah.
So Blackout had a huge viewer base, And then once Warzone dropped, Warzone has a huge viewer base.
And Apex is still rocking strong. Fortnite's still rocking strong.
Apex and Apex rock strong. And then you got the other ones, like, you know, Realm died out. You have...
Such a shame Realm died out.
You have Spellbreak and like PUBG and all these games that don't get the viewership. Tarkov gets good viewership, and that's another one, but that's more of a... It's not just... I guess it's more strategy than it is just a battle royale.
I saw Rogue Company getting a bump back up in viewership again here recently.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can probably attest that to Doc.
Oh, true.
Linking up with them and getting sponsored by them and getting his own skin in the game and all that good stuff, because it looked like a bunch of people, like Lupo was playing it over the weekend and stuff like that. But I'm willing to bet, and this kind of sucks because I think Rogue Company is an okay game. I'm willing to bet that will drop back down.
How soon?
In a week or two. I don't think it's got lasting power.
Well, plus their rank just dropped, didn't it? Or is it still no? Or is there still no rank structure? I know that it was in their roadmap, but since getting a PC, I know that they just opened it up to beta so I could download it and do it that way. And I might do that after the move, maybe, because it's cool, I guess. I'm not trusting high res though.
Well, that's the thing, you know, us coming from the Paladins community and dealing with high res, seeing what happened with Realm Royale. What's
kind of happening with Paladins?
Right, exactly. You see a little bit of, you know, things not getting done on Paladins, and maybe they're going to focus on Smite and Rogue Company. But if Rogue Company starts to die, do they...
Well, I know that they've got either it just happened or it's about to happen. They had some turtle skins in Smite, right?
Mm-hmm. But,
I mean, Smite's always kind of been the breadwinner between the two.
Which is fine. But I think, so for me, development aside, I think Paladins is a solid game. I think Paladins is a fun game to play.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if they put a little more backing behind it, development-wise, the game could actually gain traction. The problem is it too late?
I mean, I think at this point it is. I think if we're talking about back when, you know, because little known fact, it was actually an alpha before Overwatch is, but I think at this point it's been deemed the knockoff version of Overwatch for so long. I don't know if there's a coming back from that stigma overall in the gaming community.
Right, and the fact that Overwatch has an actual franchise league for their professional players, to where Paladins, you know, you have the PPC, and it gets okay viewership. Views. Not even. It's, you know, 500-600 at the most when I say it.
Well, I mean, on YouTube it'll pull a couple thousand.
Yeah. But like on Twitch, when they're playing the matches live,
oh yeah, a couple hundred.
Yeah, you get 400 or 500 in there at the most, to where, you know, hey Big Weather, how are you? To where Overwatch, you know, they're literally playing in arenas around the world with actual franchise teams. So
So do you think? So I know here recently, and you definitely play Paladins more than I do. Like I said earlier, I've kind of been enjoying the shooter-free lifestyle here recently. But they've got a new character coming to Paladins, right? Was it on the PTS, just not released yet? Is that how that
Correct.
works?
That's going to release with the next battle pass. Her name is Vora. The next battle pass is early November, I want to say. Her name's Vora. She's a flank, and she looked fun from what I seen in the PTS. I did not play the PTS,
right?
But she looked fun.
Yeah, I still watch some content of it. I like watching Bees. I obviously like watching you. I'll watch Kresnik when he's on from time to time as well. But there's just not very many people I watch that still play that game, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, I hear you. I like Kresnik because I like the way he actually he commentates on the PPC as well. So
yeah,
I like the way he breaks it down and does all that, and he'll do that while he's playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's really fun to watch. You know, I think if I wasn't in this weird spot right now with DBD where like I kind of need to grind everything back because there's no cross progression from Xbox, and I want to get just back into like making like good like content for DBD, so I kind of like I'm stuck in grind mode.
Mm-hmm.
I might be more tempted to throw like, you know, a random Wednesday morning like Paladin stream in.
Right.
But I definitely can't do it like I used to do where I was doing, you know, 5 mornings, 6 mornings, 7, sometimes 7 mornings a week for 5, 6, 7 hours. I think, I don't know if it was rank that did it to me or if it was just maybe I didn't start like switching up my game soon enough or what.
Yeah, it's most likely that you would sit there and try and grind ranked at 7 a.m. and
yeah, there was that.
And once you get to diamond, you can only queue with one person, so you're getting 3 randoms on your team, and you know you gotta deal with all that.
Randoms are gonna random.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So you either get stuck playing heal or tank, which is fine, you know, because everybody should know how to play everything. But the problem I have with it, if you're going to random and if you're going to be like, well, I'm going to play damage and this and that, well, you better be a damn good damage or a damn good flank, because you're taking powers out of people's hands. Like if somebody were to pick a damage and it's a map I can Strix on and they end
like,
up
boy,
not
if
being.
you take my Strix, I swear you better have the most insane Strix game of your life.
Right, exactly.
What I could bring to the table right now, no, yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, sometimes you got to deal with it. But it is what it is.
Weren't there rumors about an Overwatch 2 coming out soon? Have you?
There is. I haven't heard anything else about it, but if that drops, I think Paladins is in trouble.
Well, I think Paladins is in trouble if Rogue Company starts to do what Paladins and Realm did.
Right. No, I can see that, but see, my thing is, I'm not a big believer in Rogue Company. I don't think a lot of people are going to play it. We live in a time where everybody is looking for the next blow up game. Everybody wants to be the next Ninja or whatever. Right. And you have a game that comes out in Rogue Company. So if you had somebody who was grinding it, and then it blows up, you can see them but I don't see it happening because you don't see a lot of people grinding this shit. You see people playing it one off, you know, they'll throw it in one a day on their stream because, again, like we covered last week, we're contented out. Everything's oversaturated. So maybe they throw Rogue Company in just to switch it up a little bit, but that's not going to be their game.
See, I think Hi-Rez is onto something with Rogue Company because you don't really see those tactical shooters on you don't see those tactical shooters on console, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a market that they can hit, but I think the problem is Hi-Rez tends to have that ability, but then caters to their PC crowd.
Right. Iron Man, how are you? Welcome in. But the problem I have with that, Q, is there is shooters for console, like, you know, Warface that came from PC that said, let's try it on console. Right. And it never took off. And is Rogue going to be anything but, here we go, Paladins is an Overwatch clone. Is Rogue anything but a Valorant knockoff?
See, I think that's where they really dropped the ball because, you know, like I know that we met each other in the Paladin scene, but we both had played Realm Royale before.
Right.
But like they've kind of always been in this where they're like behind they're behind whatever it is in their particular genre of a game they're making. When Valorant went into, I think they did a closed alpha first, right? The codes kind of deal the same way.
Right. See, I
Cold
think
War is, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they do that first?
Mhm.
Like at that point, they should have dropped a closed alpha on, or an open alpha or something. You have to drop something for Rogue,
right?
Because it had already been under wraps for, I mean, hell, they had people trying it at HRX last. You know
right,
I mean?
Exactly. So you had the game ready and everything, and then Valorant beat you to the punch. And not saying Valorant is huge or anything, but I see a lot more people playing Valorant than I do seeing play Rogue Company.
I think Valorant has a low-key, pretty decent comp, like underground scene. Like I don't think it's like, obviously they don't have like a CDL or, you know, it's not League of Legends sort of esport scene, but they've got like quite a few competitions, it seems like, from what I've seen. He's back.
Yeah, he just got timed out. I mean, come on, man.
Now he's encouraged because now he can see his word.
But it's just ridiculous. But welcome to Twitch, where the Mixer trolls follow you.
It's crazy that he's still coming around because he's legit been coming in a chat. Man, at least he doesn't do it like over on Mixer where he was coming in with like 4, 5, 6 accounts.
Well,
like
that was a second account right now, so.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, I feel like I've only seen him every, you know, I'll see him like twice a week over here on Twitch instead of like 16 times a day over on Mixer.
Right. I hear you. All right, so moving on, I guess.
So, well, I was gonna say, as far as like this week has been a lot of packing as far as in our household. Getting ready for the move. We officially signed paperwork over the weekend as far as like the lease for where we're going next. He was out of town for 2 weeks, so we were kind of waiting for him to get back to officially be, you know, going there. Our official move date is next Monday, so our Sunday morning shenanigans will probably be our last stream, and we'll probably record something, I think, for next week.
Okay.
But I'll probably do where I edit that my first editing day
at the new place.
Yeah, so we'll probably, you know, we might record like Sunday night or something.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Just so you know. But yeah, we've got that going on. And then this last week, you know, I've kind of been very fortunate where, you know, with doing the content creation thing basically full time, with all of this crazy stuff going on in the world today of COVID, since it's all really popped off, like I've pretty legit been a homebody. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I went down to the stadium because they're looking at starting to bring fans into the stands, you know, at pretty much all the NFL stadiums. Some of them have already started. So we live right by the metro station. It goes down to the city because I am not going into the city during rush hour traffic. If I don't need to. Like I'll, you know, I parked here, took the train down there, wasn't a big deal.
Right.
But I can definitely see why people are like over the mask thing. Like people who have to like do it every single day. Which kind of sucks because I know that like we're in a situation where like we're in a place where we should all be wearing the masks and stuff like that, but even just from going out one day and something that I'm not used to doing, I'm kind of like, bro, I kind of like don't want to go out into this anymore.
No, I hear you.
Does that sound about right?
What sound about right?
Here and there. Oh, I said Big Weather seems to be the type of guy that would be into sports games.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Into that 2K21.
I'm not even picking up that 2K21. If it wasn't just a copy paste and I thought that it was actually going to be good, then maybe, but no.
They're all copy paste anymore.
It's so bad, man. You know, I do kind of wish though. I wish that like the my team was kind of bigger for 2K the way it is for Madden.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, but
Instead on
that's the
2K,
thing.
it's just all about the my player. So
Well, that's the thing. You got my player, which then turns into my court. You know, you go in and you. It's kind of like Madden. Everything is mutt now, so everything is like, you know, your team of cards you put together. Same thing with FIFA. FIFA does the same thing.
I like FIFA. FIFA's nice.
Oh, I don't mind FIFA. I don't mind FIFA either.
FIFA in small dosages, though. I mean, honestly, any sports game nowadays in small dosages.
Yeah, I hear
you. Especially Madden. I can't really do.
I don't play Madden like that anymore. I mean, I have it. I think I played FIFA more than I played Madden.
Yeah. Man, I remember back when we were back in the Midwest. I used to room with a couple guys who every year, man, new Madden drop. Hey, bruh, we're gonna go pick up Madden and stay up all night. You down, bruh?
Dude, I used to be at every midnight release for Madden.
Man,
every midnight release.
I hated it. And then, of course, so this was like back in the shop days, and we all happened to work at like different ones in our area.
Right.
Because there was like 5 within like 25 miles, you know. But then, you know, they would have their friends over and we'd be playing it out on the porch because there's a TV at the bar back there, and that's just where we all hang out and drink. And I would be forced to play it without being forced to play it, you know.
Oh, we used to have,
because I was good at it. So when I played, I won my fair share of games, so which then forced me to play more games.
Yeah, we used to have setups to where, you know, we'd have 8 people there. We're doing a tournament basically, and if you're getting beat 21-0, you give up the sticks. Like, yep. It just made it shorter. So like, it was cool though. But I can tell you the one thing that I think EA could do to break the internet is bring out college football.
I mean,
they bring back NCAA football, and especially now, because the players can actually get paid for their likeness.
Yeah, but how do you do that now? You have so many players who could be paid.
Well, you just go through and you say, do you want to be in the video game? Yes, this is your cut. If not, we're just going to replace you with somebody who looks the same as you, who's got the same build, the same stats, wears the same number. We're just going to name them somebody else.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It seems like a very big, like.
No, they could do it. It's just here's the thing: college football players were always in the game, regardless, right? Whether it was a number or whether your name was actually in there. But say now you get a flat fee for being in the game, and who's going to say no? You're a college athlete. Why wouldn't you want your name out there? Why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? Like, for somebody who's played, like, I would have loved to be in a video game as an athlete, or had a trading card or something like that. You know what I mean? So I just think it'd be dumb for college players to hold out and be like, hey, well, I want, $1 million to be in your video game. And it's like, nah, bro, we'll just stick to numbers. Because honestly, the Big Ten and the SEC, they can care less about their players. They're going to get the money from EA. Like, yeah, come on, we'll do a game. Let's do it. And that's it. Like, they don't care about the players. So the players are going to have to look out for themselves. Listen, I've had some of the best times playing dynasties in college football with 12 other guys, and you're trying to recruit the same players, and you're trying, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so much fun.
Man, I'm trying to think, what was the big year? 2006? No, 2000. It had to have been NCAA 05.
Okay.
As in, like, going into the 05 season, so we'll release the summer of 04, I think. Is that how they did it before?
I think so, yeah.
That sound right? Man, I can't even remember how many seasons I did on Dynasty. So much fun, man. So many hours. If only they'd bring it back.
Yeah.
And didn't they at one point later on do a my player type deal where you started like in the high school playoffs and you got recruited?
Mm-hmm.
I very vaguely remember those. I wasn't playing it as much at that, but
yes, they did. Because EA copy and paste not only in the same game, but they copy across their games. So
yeah, true.
But yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
That was like 07, right?
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. You start out, and in Madden, you start out in the college championship or whatever you are, and you got to get drafted and stuff like that. But see, I miss the days of you having to go to the combine and do combine workouts and stuff like that. To where now it's just people don't want it. They just let's focus on MUT, and that's it. Let's keep everything the same. Right.
Yeah.
I thought that was dope. But
what was your favorite sport game
growing up?
Yeah.
I don't know. Madden has to be up there.
Because there were a lot of good ones. We got fortunate enough we got to play through the NBA streets, the NFL streets.
Right.
We played FIFA. We played ESPN 2K football.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm just curious.
Yeah, 2K football was good for a year or two, but the juke move was broke. You could just juke down the whole field and then pull a hamstring and still run in for a touchdown.
True.
I mean, the older Maddens have to take it for me until it started becoming, copy and paste and a MUT league type thing. But other than that, I've always enjoyed NHL hockey.
One of my first memories as a kid is having NHL 95. I think so.
Yeah, NHL 95 was that shit.
Yeah. I remember because we had just moved overseas. My dad was stationed in Shape, so he was in we were in Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very young. We had I don't know if I ever told you this. I was actually born out here in DC.
Right.
Down at Walter Reed. So naturally we were kind of Capitals fans, you know what I mean? And I just remember that was, I think, the first NHL game that had like I don't think it was called Dynasty. I can't remember what it was, but you played through a season and then through the playoffs and everything else, like as a team.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you could play as one player, or some games you could play as two player. Like my dad and I would legit, like if we were both available, we'd play. Otherwise, he'd play or I would play. I remember that like very vividly.
See, the cool thing about like the newer NHLs is the ECHL is what they call it. And that's where you have your player, basically you create your player, but you're creating an online player. So then you queue up with a team of 5 or a team of 6 if you have a goalie, or if you do 3v3, then you have 3v3 with a goalie that's controlled by the computer. But that became really fun, and like you can create your own team, you create your own uniforms and all that stuff, and then you just go online and duke it out with other people. And then you run into some 13-year-old kid that knows every move in the game that you can't stop. And then that's it.
Because they do play this game all day, every day. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember spending a whole bunch of time when I was very young on the N64, which was not even my first system, by the way.
Mm-mm.
But we're
dating
NBC
ourselves.
Showtime. NBC Showtime. It was a 2-on-2, very much like was kind of a copy off NBA Jam, if we're being like for real.
Right.
But like you could create a character and then you joined a team so you could like play with the other guys as like your second person.
Right.
And you got like where you were up, unlocking skins and act like it was really ahead of its time looking back at it for real.
Yeah, of course.
But so much.
You know what my favorite game on N64 was? GoldenEye.
Oh,
bro, the 4v4 where you split the screen into 4 places and you're playing against 3 of your friends, and whoever got the golden pistol was the one that was just going to own everybody.
Or you played with paintballs.
Yes,
like paintball mode.
yes. Yeah, GoldenEye was...
Like the next James Bond game was all right. It was the one with the blue cartridge. I don't even remember what the name of it was. It definitely wasn't GoldenEye.
Right.
The multiplayer was but it definitely wasn't GoldenEye was
but
first
it's
of its kind.
It's just,
Odd job, yeah.
What's up, Nightmare? What's going on? But GoldenEye,
that was definitely a
GoldenEye was definitely my favorite.
Around from the neighborhood in a household play.
Oh, of course, because you didn't have online battles at that time. You know what I mean? Like,
nope. So you had the kids from down the street come, and you'd play that. You'd play Super Smash Brothers, and was Bomberman on N64, or was that just a Super NES thing?
I don't know. That might have been NES. I'm not sure.
Bomberman was my shit.
I am not sure.
Now I feel old.
Well, we're definitely dating ourselves here.
Yeah, I mean, we're not like old. Not that I'm like, name names.
I'm a middle-aged phenom, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know.
Yo, wrestling games with Doink the Clown, Nightmare.
Oh yes, dude. Doink and Dink.
Yo, Doink used to pull out a clown hammer.
Man, so did you watch a lot of wrestling growing up?
I did. I was into it. Even now, I'll still catch a little bit of it.
Oh, I haven't watched any in about a year.
It's a little weird now with COVID and no fans, you know what I mean? Like, because wrestling, you need the fans interaction.
I mean, even the last, 8 months before the fans left, the story writing had gotten pretty awful.
Yeah. Stone Cold was the best, bro. Stone Cold was literally the best. Like, that was the golden age of wrestling.
See, we got lucky because we got to grow up with the Attitude Era. We saw the Monday Night Wars.
I mean, it's just we got to see Generation X. We got to see NWO. We got to see Stone Cold and The Rock. Like, we got to see The Undertaker in his prime, not The Undertaker who's 50 years old sitting out there trying to wrestle now. It's just,
man. So that catastrophe where was that Australia or Saudi Arabia, where it was DX versus the Brothers of Destruction.
Oh yeah.
Like 20 years past its prime. It was so awful to watch.
Oh, it was terrible.
Like 12 years.
But like Shawn Michaels, besides Stone Cold, Shawn Michaels was my favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
And like, cause just look at Sweet Chin Music. Like Sweet Chin Music, and you still got it now. Like everybody just does a super kick as a regular move, and I'm like, no, it's not a regular move. That's a finisher, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, so if you get super kicked, like you should be out.
Well, that's like DDTs now.
Yeah, DDTs are nothing.
Diamond cutter.
Yeah. But that's what you got so much like. And my favorite wrestler from now is Randy Orton. And even though
St. Louis's own, baby, let's get it.
Even though his like move is a knockoff of the cutter, the diamond cut, and the Stone Cold stunner, like it's just, dude, the way the way they made it like out of nowhere, and he would catch people in midair and just fucking. Oh my God!
He's had some very awesome. I mean, there's a reason that it was like a YouTube sensation. The RKO's.
Oh, of course,
nowhere,
yeah.
You know, but like as a wrestling fan, man, I can't remember what. I guess that would have been WrestleMania 31, 32, the one where Seth went for the curb stomp and he lifts him up off his neck.
Oh yes, that was
into the RKO.
Bro, that was dope.
He's had so many great ones. I mean, he's so smooth in the ring.
And it's funny because I remember when Randy Orton came on the scene, everybody hated him he was this, you know, guy who was a nobody, who's just out there in tights. He has no story or character behind him.
So rumor is he was kind of like that prickhead in like high school too.
Right. He had no, but he had no story behind him and stuff like that. And then he became the Viper. And when he became the Viper, that's when he took off. And it's just.
I've ran into him in a mall before. He's actually a pretty chill guy.
Oh, he seems like it. Tell you what, his wife's smoking. She really is, but
I have not watched it in a while, and I have not been to an event in quite some time. I'll never forget being a kid though and going to one. Because my dad is what's the best way to say, quite the big fella. You know, he's 6'6". I don't know how much he weighs, to be honest with you.
Right.
But I mean, at his time was probably at least like, you know, 220, 225, like, you know, built good though, when he was, you know, PT every day in the military, right?
Right.
But he's a pretty big guy. And I remember we went to this house show down in El Paso while my dad was stationed down there. And we were close enough that whenever people were like entering to go to the ring, we could like run behind and go like right by where they walked in. Yeah. And I remember that was when like APA was still very much in its prime. And I remember seeing Farouk and Bradshaw walk out and then like literally like turning and like looking at my dad behind me and like, bro, those guys are like freaks of nature big.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You don't really understand it until you're standing next to one of them.
Well, because even the small ones make, you know, someone like even me who's a decent sized human, they like make me look small.
Right, right. I'm an average sized human, so they make me look really tiny.
Right. Wait, did you just call me fat?
No. I'm just saying, like I'm 5'10", so it's not like 5'10", 5'11", so it's not like a 6'6" person standing next to me is going to make me look like a, you know, Muggsy Bogues out here.
Right. So, when do you think would be, like, I'm curious, and this is only because basketball was brought up, but I can't remember who I was talking to about this with earlier, but they've talked about how NBA isn't starting up as early as it normally does, because, like, right now we had technically like being in preseason for NBA, right?
Right.
So, one, do you think that this is a schedule that they keep for, you know, moving forward or just for a year? Or do you think, well, I guess that'd be the two questions. So do you think that they're going to try and keep like moving forward with a later start date? Or do you think they try and go back to their previous?
I think they would like to go back to previous, but the problem is, how do you do that?
Right.
Because yes, this season, you finish this season, and in finishing this season, you now have set up next season to where you have to shorten the season or shorten the off season, start the season later, try and get the same amount of 82 games in plus the playoffs, and then you're going to try and go back to normal, which means then another very short off season would follow the year past to try and get back to normal. So I think it's a fine line they'd have to walk, and I think you may see a later start in the season for the next year, maybe 2 years before they can get it together.
I think I'm okay with it.
Oh, I don't mind it, you know, because the thing is, football takes you what, till February with the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Okay, so basketball starting in November. You still have football, and we're getting football 2, 3, maybe 4 days a week now with COVID, when games are pushed back and rescheduled and all that good stuff. So you got enough there. You got the baseball playoffs happening, which Silver Bullets Atlanta Braves blew a 3-1 lead. That's so great. But yeah, I'm glad I don't have to watch another National League East team win a title this year. That's cool with me. But yeah, you got baseball that's winding down. You got the World Series, which matter what,
isn't that far behind schedule if you think about it.
I mean, it is, because usually it's September it's finishing, maybe beginning of October, and the World Series is about to start. So you're about a month behind, I guess. But that's because baseball came back and said, okay, we're only going to play this amount of regular season games because we need the playoffs to go. We can't be playing.
Have me go and Google this.
We can't be playing baseball when it's 30 degrees. So they're trying to get the season done before winter hits. So with the World Series starting tomorrow, you know, you figure you got, what, 2 weeks? So
it's starting like the same time that the World Series did last year. Then last year was October 22nd.
The World Series started October 22nd last year. Yeah, so that's why they did the shortened condensed season, the shortened playoffs, because, like, you had the 1-game playoffs and then you had the 3-game playoffs, and then it went to the 7-game series.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think they did a good job with working out the schedule to keep it around the same, because, like I said, you can't hit 100-mile-an-hour baseball when it's 30 degrees outside and expect your hands not to hurt.
Yeah.
So I think they did a good job with that.
And so it'll be nice because now you're talking about, you know, next year probably having, I think they said that they're not looking at basketball starting until after Halloween next year.
Yeah, I think they're looking in November at some point.
But if you have hockey kind of fill in and start a little bit earlier or around when it normally does per se, then I feel like you space out your sports more. Instead of where, like, you know, after football season's over with, you're coming down the end of the season of the NHL and the NBA because they both have very long playoffs, which should probably be addressed at some point. Let's be honest, at least the NBA should.
Right.
But if you can space those games out, then you don't have those like 2 months where the only thing playing is baseball. Because no offense, baseball is cool and all, but
no, I agree, and it makes for, like, there's always something to watch sports related. You know what I mean? And then you got, listen, UFC's blowing up. A lot of people watch the UFC. Boxing is still on the back burner, but, like, there's still good fights to be had.
Well, I think part of the problem was I think we went through an age where people were more worried about the win than knocking the other dude out. And I think that kind of lost people's interest in boxing to MMA.
No, I hear you. Because MMA, everybody's looking to knock them out unless you're Khabib when you're just looking to strangle somebody. But sorry, I don't like Khabib.
No, you're good.
I'm not a Khabib fan at all. But yeah, so everybody would like to see somebody get punched in the face as long as it's not them. So,
and then one other thing that I was kind of wanting to chat with you about, because so we both came from Mixer.
Yep.
For those who don't, and I think we can both agree we've seen a lot of people, both people we knew directly and indirectly. Mostly, I'd probably say people we know indirectly just from people who are on the platform who either no longer stream or stream a lot less because they're now on Twitch and blah, 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 blah. I think we've learned that the game's different over on Twitch, right? Obviously.
Yeah, that's to say the least, of course.
Yeah. So I know last episode we talked about what games you're looking forward to, because I know you kind of feel right now that there's, like, you know, like kind of oversaturation of games as far as they've been out for a while. There's not a lot of new things getting your attention. So what's kind of your game plan moving forward, or maybe at least just as far as Q4 here for 2020? Wind things down and make sure you're off to a good start in 21.
So basically, I'm going, you're probably, and I'm saying this right now, you're going to see a split between Call of Duty and Paladins, to where Paladins may even start to get phased out a little bit. I have fun in Call of Duty. I have fun with Paladins too, and I love my community and stuff like that, but I'm Call of Duty through and through. So when I have a Call of Duty game that I can get down with, that's the game I want to play. Whether I'm playing queuing by myself or if I have a group of people to play with, that is what it is. I may give Warzone another shot here. Not to be my main game or anything, because when I play Call of Duty, I'm a multiplayer guy. But you might see a Warzone here and there. And then just, I'm going to try and keep up with the party games, you know, Among Us type stuff. Phasmophobia, I definitely want to get into that. I want to see where their development team takes that game. I think there's a lot that they can do.
Right, I would agree with that.
I think there's a lot they can do to keep that game interesting and fun and all that good stuff. Because people say, you know, in VR, the game's, you know, great, it's scary.
I've heard it's really good in VR. I heard from one person they got sick from it, but otherwise,
well,
I've
I mean,
heard nothing good things.
If you get motion sickness and you're playing VR, you might get motion sickness. Yeah. Like, it's just the way it goes. But other than that, just I want to get down to a schedule. I want to get my YouTube up and running. I have.
Are you going to be looking at doing the editing, or are you going to have someone else doing that?
I don't know. I don't want to do it, honestly. So I would love an editor to just take my clips and make a montage video right now. Like, I have so many clips from Paladins that I can make a montage video to just be like your introduction to me on YouTube. I'm just looking for somebody to do it.
I could probably find you a guy.
I mean, depends on what they're charging as well, I guess.
Well, right.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm not a big time streamer to where I can just be like, here, take this and make me a montage.
I don't know what his prices are, but I know from the few people who use him that I'm guessing he's probably not awfully expensive, but he does really, really, really good work.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Sahil? I think he does Maestro's videos too. If
I actually reached out to him twice, and he reached back to me the one time, and then when I was ready to do it, he never got back to me. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I like the stuff he did, and I like the stuff he does for Maestro. It's just like, I'm trying to pay you for a service, and you're not getting back to me. It kind of rubs me the wrong way as a business type deal.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
So I'm sure I'll find somebody. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I want that montage video because I sank so many of my hours and my determination into Paladins to become a Paladins partner and to become that and to grow my community, that I would like that to be the introduction of Oogie Boogie on YouTube.
Now, do you think that there is any point where we might see a resurgence as far as the viewership on Paladins on, like, say, Twitch?
No, unless, and this is a touchy subject, I guess, but if they bring viewer points back, so say instead of, obviously it was mixer points, it's now going to be just viewer points, because I still got the viewer store. I think you'll see a surge in numbers because people are going to want free stuff. Everybody wants free stuff.
Well, isn't that the whole point of what they did with the bounty store, though?
I mean, yes, but that also means that you got to sit there and grind to get 200 plus skulls just to get one skin, to where you can just watch a stream, get enough viewer points to buy 4 or 5 different skins.
Yeah, I guess.
The thing that has me interested about viewer, so we both know it created a huge lurk culture on Mixer.
100%. I mean, that's the reason that it was generally in the top 5 games of viewership on Mixer. Yeah.
However, Twitch's terms are different. So like, if you don't chat within like a half hour, you're no longer considered in that channel. You're no longer considered viewing. Even if you have it up, you're not considered viewing.
Is that what it is? 30 minutes?
I'm pretty sure it's 30 minutes. You have to like put a emote in the chat or something. So
I thought that was only if you don't have sound on.
no, I mean, I think so. From what I understand is you can have the tab muted, but you can't. But just from me streaming and looking and seeing viewers drop and go up,
right?
I think there's something else behind the algorithm, but having the volume up.
Well, I mean,
I think after a certain amount of time,
or it's not super accurate recording of viewership, at least as far as the lower numbers, it seems.
Right, but I think there's something in the algorithm that if you don't chat within a certain amount of time, that you're not going to be counted as a viewer. Now with viewer points, that would help Paladin streamers in the way of you're going to have to be somewhat active in whoever stream you're watching in order to gain these points.
You make it very obvious.
Which it is an up and a down, because I don't want 300 viewers with 4 people chatting when I can have 4 viewers with 4 people chatting.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so if I'm going to have 300 viewers, I would like a pop in chat. I would like chat to be at a point to where I might have to put it on slow mode. You know what I mean? Like, other than that, I don't think viewer points is worth it.
Wait, you mean you're not turning slow mode on your chat for 12 people?
No, not at all. Not at all. Because even
when I go into chats and see that, I'm like, no, what are you doing?
Even when you have 12 people in there, you probably have 2 or 3 that are typing, and the other ones are just, you know, lurking or watching or whatever. And you got slow mode on, and it's like, bro, I'm about to raid you with 14 active people, and you got slow mode on.
And follower only chat. I can't do it. What do you mean?
Obviously, this is a tip for you Twitch streamers that put follow only and slow chat on.
I have never understood the follow only.
Unless you're a big time streamer, why are you doing it?
I mean, I guess that's kind of like the whole like don't do follow for follow thing. Like, it should make sense that you don't do it, but some people fall into the trap.
Yeah, but
they just think that, oh well, if people want to type in my chat, then at least they're following.
Exactly. That's just a way for them to get a follow,
right,
for you to chat. And I don't want to do that. You want to follow me, follow me. If you don't. It's okay. You know, there's 4 billion people watching Twitch. Like, if you don't follow, somebody else will, and it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but eventually you'll get another follower. And
I mean, I know you're popping in my chat. I see how many people come in while I'm live, and I know not all of them are followers. Let's do that.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, we could see it on our, you know, whether you use Mix It Up or whatever. I can see all the bots, and I can look through my chat and see who's following and who's not following. And I see people in here a lot that aren't following, and I'm not going to call them out and be like, hey, you should be following me.
Yo, do you ever see the people who like call out lurkers, bro? I can't do
Yeah,
it.
no, it's just, you know.
Because sometimes I'll like pull them up just to like say what's up, maybe when I want to, but like because you know that I like when I'm working, I generally have a tab or 2 up, right? But like, and then all of a sudden you hear your name being called. I'm like, what? I'm just gonna go ahead and exit out of this screen right quick. It's like I was never even there.
I know. Yes. Yeah, I hear you. Thank you, baby. Yeah, I won't call out lurkers. Lurkers are a huge part of streaming. It just is what it is. And if you call out their lurker, who then clicks off of your window, you have no chance of them actually coming in and being a part of the community.
Yeah.
So same question to you.
As far as what?
For the rest of this year, so 4th quarter going into 2021.
Man, so honestly for me, I think once we get there, I need to soundproof up the room because it's hardwood floors and it's a very there's a lot of walls up in that room. So I'm gonna need to like make sure I get some good sound out of there. But I am going to try and push to where I am putting out at minimum 4, if not 5, different like YouTube content pieces a week.
Mm-hmm.
Because like obviously we got this podcast. I'm gonna get the content creators corner going again.
What's up, Ducky?
I think I am also going to start doing a vlog. I think the vlog might be something I only do like every other week, but it's still, you know, a piece of content that will fill one of those 4 to 5 slots. I got some ideas for some different series I want to do as far as on DVD, and moving forward, I might find some other games. I might back out of Cyberpunk. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't do it.
Don't back out of it, or don't get into it.
Don't back out of it.
Don't think so?
No.
Just thinking so many people are already gonna be doing it, you know?
Yeah, but
if everyone else jumped off a bridge.
No, it's not even that. It's just the fact of like maybe somebody likes you and doesn't like the other person that's doing it.
No, true.
And you're kind of making them go look for content for Cyberpunk when they could be getting it from you.
True. I think if I'm gonna do it, I just gonna have to get very like content focused and like make sure I'm doing a couple clips up on social medias and because especially because we do a couple of day streams. I think the other thing though is I was kind of half contemplating switching my schedule around and being more nighttime focused.
Yeah.
Now that you know, COVID has kind of at least gotten us back into the office for a lot of people. You know, kids are back in schools and.
Yeah, but that's also a thing that's questionable for me. Is in my office we're back twice a week, but other than that, this thing's far from over, and
oh, agreed, 100%.
People treating it like it's over, is just going to lead to more and more people getting infected with the virus, which is, you know, it is what it is. Like at that point, you're taking your own life and your own health in your own hands, like, because, and it's not just, hey, I'm youngish, I'm in good health, I'll probably beat it. You don't know what the long-term side effects of this thing is.
Well, and I think that's the scary thing, right? Is we don't know long-term.
You don't know if it's going to attack your lungs or your heart or something like that going forward. You know, maybe a month or a month and a half from now, you don't feel good. And they don't know why it is, but they see something wrong with your lungs or your heart. And it's like, well, I had COVID 2 months ago. And it's like, well, maybe this is a side effect of you catching that virus.
Right.
And that virus laying dormant in your system. And then it just pops up. You don't know.
Well, I think that's the hard thing, like with what I was talking about earlier. Like, I can see why people are already over the mask thing, but like, it's like you said, it's definitely far from over. It's kind of a very weird situation to be in with all
I just think right now everybody wants to get back to normal, but I think normal will come sooner than later if we're being careful.
Right, more careful than what some people.
Right.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
That's why, you know, we're moving to a small little town. I'm gonna stay in my house. You know, I'm gonna do what I got. You know, I'm gonna be making some videos. I look forward to doing like a nice like wave of different things.
Oh, I hear you.
We'll probably still do some, you know, like compilation videos. I want to at some point get like an intro, like starting like soon video or something like that done.
Right.
For the stream. But I really just kind of want to, so like really kind of like, I feel like I'm starting to find my groove with every video I'm starting to do as far as like for Dead by Daylight and stuff like that. not just editing wise, but when I'm creating the content in itself. Like I know that I'm looking to create, like record something. So when I'm streaming or whatever, I'm playing a certain way. I feel like the whole process is getting much quicker and it's getting like more solid. So I'm excited to see where we'll be if I kind of put that extra pressure on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I can see like there's been days where I just signed on to whether it be Paladins or whatever, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go for clips.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of leads you into sometimes bad gameplay, because you're just looking out for, you know, something you could do that's different, or something you could do to make a piece of content, and it's a fine line you got to walk. So with you getting more comfortable with it, I could see you, you know, starting to get better and better with your DVD content.
Yeah. And I also like that my editing time is condensing down, which then should lead to being able to do more content, which, you know, it's like, it's, I guess, a double-edged sword.
Right. Because like
you want to spend more time content creating than streaming almost sometimes.
Right. So like that's so when I asked you your plans, it's 5 days a week of content creation. Where does that leave your stream?
So like, because right now we do where I no longer do double streams in a day except for Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So like today I streamed during the day. Right now I'm recording here, and then I was doing some scouring through for some other things to edit projects wise. And I could probably edit after this if I wanted to. I'm probably just gonna go relax. I've also been like packing and things tonight.
Yeah.
But I should be able to get to the point where tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but just on a Tuesday, I should be able to crank out the stuff for the podcast and, you know, some well recorded gameplay that I could just have to edit a little bit, and boom, I've got 2 pieces of YouTube content right there.
Right.
You know, I'm not saying they both need to be released at that time. You know, I can save one of those for a day that I'm either behind or something like that. Because I learned that from a buddy who did. Oh, buddy, what did Nick do? Like 62 weeks straight of releasing a track a week back in like almost a decade ago. Mm-hmm. Back when like YouTube was just becoming a thing. Mm-hmm. But you know, because that's also part of what helps you get into the algorithm is how often are you posting content?
Oh yeah, of course.
Content being watched within the first bit of being uploaded. So, you know, we're gonna be talking some sports. We're gonna be talking, you know, games, obviously. We're gonna be bringing all this. But I want to try doing, you know, a nice multiple wave of things and see what kind of sticks.
Right.
I keep hearing this thing of 50 videos. You need 50 videos in a year. Once you get to the point where...
So it's basically 1 video a week average is what they're looking at if you have 52 weeks in a year.
I think it's 50 videos and a half. So maybe it's not that. It has to be something. There's 50 videos and a half a year. Because it was like, they said like 3 videos a week.
Right.
So maybe that's what it is. It's 50 videos in like in a half a year or 4 months or something. However it is, it's like if you can get to the point where you're cranking 3 videos a week, the algorithm really starts to play in your favor. As long as you can get, you know, decent click through and, you know, likes and comments.
Right.
All the stuff that helps us with our algorithm so we can put our content in front of more people. Which, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, you could do us a very huge favor by clicking that like button, hitting that subscribe button, ringing that bell. That way we can see you back here for the next episode. Boom, nailed it.
Yes, sir, nailed it.